Yeah, I love that. Love that line. It's all in your head.
Well, it is though,
Uh,
right? Pain is in your head. That's what pain
well,
is.
yes. Yeah, it is in your head, but
Yeah.
it's not all in your
But it's not,
mind.
but it doesn't mean it's not real, right?
Yeah, and that's a great distinction too, or a great thing to say is because the worst pain you've ever felt is the worst pain you've ever felt for everyone. And who am I to say that the worst pain you've ever felt is worse than the worst pain I've ever felt? I have no idea what your subjective experience is like with the pain that you've felt in your life. So pain is so personal and individual that we have to go into that understanding that thing, that one thing right there. Like you could, smash your finger and I could do the same exact thing, and our experience could be wholly different based on your past experiences, based on how your culture views pain, based on, your specific nervous system and the amount of threat that your brain is dealing with at this moment, right? So all of it matters. All of it matters. Um, but yes, it always 100% of the time is an output from your brain. And we don't actually have pain, in our limbs. Like I don't actually have pain in my wrist right now. It kind of feels like I do, but it's not. It's in the map that lives in my brain, right? So understanding that is key. Understanding that pain is very individual for anybody working with pain or has somebody in their life that has pain. You got to give them some compassion. You got to give them some grace because you don't know what they're experiencing. Um, and then to your original question, like if you go onto your Google Scholar or PubMed or whatever research engine you like. You could even throw it into like a ChatGPT or Perplexity or one of the AIs and say, I want you to go look up studies or journal articles on asymptomatic orthopedic injuries. Just type that in, and you will get a list of studies, reviews, meta analyses of all of these people that have had imaging done on them, and their scans show that they have orthopedic injuries. And so, what that means is that if you were to take those scans to a doctor, like an orthopedic surgeon, because their tool is a scalpel, they will probably say, "Yep, you got disc herniation, bulging here. You've got a torn rotator cuff over here. We're gonna need to do surgery." But all of these people, well, a large percentage of people that have these orthopedic injuries on scans have zero pain whatsoever. And so, depending on the joint and the age, it will differ. But across the board, it's over 50% on average have negative scans, meaning they have, or positive scans, meaning they have problems. Like they have a meniscus tear in their knee, they have bulging discs in their low back, arthritis in their neck, you know, operable issues, but they have zero pain. So it's like, what is going on there? And then the
Mm.
opposite is also true. People that have completely clear scans can have debilitating pain. And this is really common in low back pain. Like low back pain is kind of the craziest one because you'll see people with all of these problems. Something like if you're 80 years old or older, it's going to be around 85 to 90% of people are going to show problems with their spine, but they have zero pain. And then on the other side, you have this like nondescript low back pain that so many people deal with. And a large majority of them, a large percentage of them, I don't think it's a majority, have a lot of pain, like chronic low back pain with no injury and no problems on their MRIs or CT scans or x-rays. So it's like, what is happening here? And the wildest thing I learned recently about this low back pain phenomenon is that they had did a huge, large, survey and review of studies, and, um, I'm blanking on the name of it right now or the author, but the the consensus was that all of these things were looked at, like injuries, their job, what they did all day, did they move around a lot? How much did they exercise? What did they eat? You know, tons of different parameters. And the number one thing across the board to predict whether or not somebody would have low back pain was job dissatisfaction. Isn't that interesting?
If this sparks something for you, there's a much deeper conversation in the full episode. You can watch it here on YouTube or on Spotify or listen on Apple Podcasts. Like, subscribe, and stay connected for more.